Hey,
Raven here.
Starfire.
Today we will be talking about Iris from the TV show
the first
Flash.
of the female characters for The Flash.
Next Monday you'll hear of a different character. I believe Caitlin
Yes.
is up next.
Woohoo! Okay, so Iris West.
Iris West.
Well, in the show, she was studying to do psychology or something at first. Something like that.
First.
Yeah, and then Barry
told her journalism is more exciting.
Journalism. And that it was exciting. And she's like, journalism is boring. I'm bored. I blame you.
Yeah.
And then she finds something that she's interested in. The Streak. Or, as we know him, the Flash. And so, she starts a blog about the Flash.
Nameless.
Anonymous blog about the Flash.
Yes, that word.
And then after she gets pressured to stop writing about him, she puts her name on the blog.
Yes, because true writers put their names on things.
Yes.
Apparently.
And so I think we're going to really start seeing her journalism kind of come into play a lot more when it comes back.
Yeah.
And like some of the producers and writers, I think we're saying too that it's not only like Barry's origin story, but it's also Iris's origin story.
And Caitlin.
Yeah, because Iris is writing about the Flash and trying to get people to believe in him and believe in the impossible and everything. And so it's her kind of coming into what she's going to do by being this huge reporter, kind of like Lois Lane.
She's the Flash's version of Lois.
She is. And I'm not trying to compare them, but she is.
She is. There's no getting around that.
Yeah.
Only she doesn't say lame lines like "Welcome to the planet." Okay. And if you watched Man of Steel, you know what I'm talking about.
But yeah, like she's really passionate about her blog and about making sure that people know who he is and believe in him.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Do you have anything to add?
Well, Iris, what's her father's name? Joe West and Iris. Some people were kind of mad that they weren't the race that they are in the comics.
And she still gets a lot of hate for that, which I think is really sad.
That's a lot of stupid racist people. I mean, no offense if you don't, whatever, but I mean, like, seriously, it's a character from a comic book.
Yeah.
I mean...
And I actually think that, and Candice Patton is beautiful.
Yeah.
And she's a great person and great actress.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we haven't seen a whole lot of stuff from her character yet, but we're definitely going to.
Yeah, I mean, the first half of the season we've been concentrating on Barry dealing with his ability and learning what he can do, and that there's still so much more that he has yet to discover.
Mm-hmm. And then his whole, like, trying to figure out who killed his mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in the next half of the season, we'll see Barry running faster and Iris finally getting some screen time hopefully without some boy candy on her arm.
Well, yeah, getting some of her own scenes, like where she's working at like the picture news and stuff, and actually writing for the paper and.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna start writing for the paper yet. She hasn't graduated.
Yeah.
Because she took journalism as.
She might be an intern though.
She could start as an intern.
Because I think people were saying that she might start out as an intern at the picture news.
Yeah, kind of like down in the bullpen.
Yeah, like Chloe did.
Yeah, and Lois.
Mm-hmm.
Smallville. Okay.
But hey, there's so many similarities to it.
There are.
We can't really not mention it.
No. But, I mean, I do understand how, like, someone can get a little annoyed that a character isn't the same race that they've been used to for, like,
But see, like over 50 years. I haven't read the comics, so to me, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And even if I had, it still wouldn't have mattered to me. Yeah. Because
as long as you get a good actress.
Yeah.
Then.
And I know.
It shouldn't really matter.
Yeah, and I know that people didn't really know who she was before the show. I didn't know who she was. But seeing her on here, I think that she's doing a good job.
Yeah.
With what she's been given. Yeah. You know, and the writers are good, so it's obviously good writing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've had about 50 years worth of a white Iris. Change things up a bit. Mm-hmm. Does it really matter? It doesn't affect the character.
I mean, that's what they did with Man of Steel. They changed
Perry White.
They changed Perry White.
They did.
And they made Lois be a redhead.
They did. And there was a lot of fans mad that she wasn't brunette.
Yeah. But Lois in Smallville wasn't brunette right away either. She had light brown hair.
Still brunette.
Yeah, but it wasn't, like, dark until, like, the later seasons.
Yeah. But, I mean, you know, like, fans they pardon my French, but they bitch at everything.
They do.
Like, if the hair's the wrong shade of brown, if the hair's the wrong shade of whatever, and then, oh no, you go and change the character's skin tone.
I mean, who really cares? As long as they're portraying the character in the way that it should be portrayed, I don't see what the problem is.
I mean, I can understand if, like, them being white had some sort of grand scheme to their character, but it doesn't. Her being a black character adds more depth to the character itself. I mean, she can do pieces that Iris West in the comics couldn't do. Mm-hmm. She can do, you know, like, racism still today in America, or whatever, you know?
It still is really prominent.
She can do those types of stories, whereas the White Iris could have, but it wouldn't have been from the eyes of someone who is experiencing it.
I don't mind seeing...
And she can play both sides of the fence.
Yeah, she can.
She's a mix.
I mean, I don't mind seeing two white characters be together as a couple. I mean, we see it all the time in TV shows. Mm-hmm. I'm used to it. But it's nice to see that mixture of black and white, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think that... I mean, a lot of shows are doing it now, Arrow and Flash and other shows, but I don't really think that it's a big deal.
Yeah, I don't think it should matter.
Yeah. We're all created equal.
Yeah.
So... we should be treated the same way.
Yeah, that reminds me of a line from the Cheetah Girls' first movie. White, black, brown, Puerto Rican, or Asian, it don't matter who you are, we want hip-hop to Asian. Okay. So
sorry. I used to be obsessed with that movie.
Me too.
Oh my gosh.
But we've slightly outgrown that. Maybe a little bit.
I still like to listen to the songs every once in a while.
Oh yeah. Great songs. But yeah, I kind of have issue with that they're making a big deal out of that.
Yeah.
So we have that, and Iris is such an understanding and loving character. I love her personality.
I love how enthusiastic and how joyful and happy she is. Like,
yeah.
You don't really see her mad. I mean, you've seen her mad a few times.
And really sad.
Yeah, but like she's very caring, and she's always defending Barry, and you know.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure that even in the later half of this season, in 10 and beyond, she'll still defend Barry from afar. But she'll still defend him.
Definitely.
I mean,
we'll get more into that in a minute.
Yeah, she still believes in him.
She does. She'll always believe in him.
Yeah. She's his...
Even if they are having some drama and angst right now, she'll
He's her red knight. Her knight in shining red armor. Although it's not armor.
He's her knight in a red suit that streaks around the city.
her knight in flashy red spandex. Okay, I'm sorry, it's not spandex, it's a synthetic polymer.
Yeah, whatever Cisco called it.
It looks like spandex.
It does, it's really tight.
In all the random places.
Anyway. Calm down. Moving on. Okay. Yeah. So, and yeah, I think that, okay, let's just get into their relationship because we've basically been talking about it anyway.
Okay. Relationships.
So, for those that have been watching, they know that her relationship with the Flash is kind of strained right now.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want him to contact her anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I think that we're going to kind of see her still kind of writing about the Flash.
Oh, yeah. She's
later.
not going to give that up.
She's still going to make sure that people believe in him. Because, like, she told Barry, she's like, I'm not stopping until the rest of the world believes in him.
Yeah, and at the end of that episode, like, when she was saying, you can't come around me and, you know, stay away,
yeah.
she said, I believe you.
Yeah.
Like, I believe that it wasn't your fault that you got like this. That you got so physical.
Yeah.
And
so angry.
Yeah, and beat up my boyfriend.
Which he deserved, by the way.
Right. But it's like, okay. She understands that. Mm-hmm. So I don't think she's going to stop writing.
No, I think that she just kind of... I think it wasn't just for him, but I think it was kind of for her own benefit that she kind of needed to distance herself from him because she knew that things were starting to kind of change and heat up between them. And I think that she didn't want it to go into territory that it shouldn't go into.
Yeah.
And so she kind of was like, all right, I believe you. I know that you're sorry. And I'm sorry too, but I can't do this right now.
And the fact that... Eddie knows that, like, in that episode, she told him, I've been meeting with him. Mm-hmm. So now, they could be stalking, the police force, the task force set to capture the Flash, could be stalking Iris, waiting for the chance to capture the Flash.
Yeah.
So that could also be one of the reasonings behind...
I didn't think about that, but that is true.
Her telling the Flash to buzz off.
I think she wants... I mean... He wants to keep her safe, and I think she wants him to be safe, too. Because she knows how dangerous it is, what he's doing. Yeah. And I think that she still, like, is trying to protect him in her own way. Even though it hurt him and hurt her.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No more lines with, like, what other girls?
Oh, my gosh.
And you're worth being on time for.
That's, like, the best line ever that he said to her. As the Flash.
Yes, as the Flash. As the Flash.
As Barry? Well...
The best line he said was his confession.
But since we're doing Iris, I think that we should kind of look at the relationship between her and Barry from her point of view. Okay. Because, you know, we've mostly been seeing it from his point of view.
Yeah.
Especially with her relationship with Eddie.
Oh, yeah.
And so, we kind of, in the mid-season finale, we kind of saw it from her side. Mm-hmm. And,
at moments.
Yeah. And we think in the first episode, when he was trying to tell her how he felt before the explosion happened, that she really did know what he was going to say, but she just didn't want to go there at that point.
Yeah, she wasn't ready. She liked how their relationship was. Because, like, he was going, I need to tell you, like, saying about all this girlfriend stuff. And, like,
she's like,
I need
to
tell you something.
To Starling City. Yeah. And he's like, oh, it's made me think about relationships. And he's like, you know,
I'm single.
I'm not in one, and you're not either. And
yeah. And then she stops him, and she's like, I know where you're going with this.
He's like, I don't think that you do.
But, like, there was a moment, a split second on Iris's face where you could tell that she did.
Yeah.
She knew. And she felt the same way. She just wasn't ready.
Yeah. She's just like, you know, I I know that it can be awkward, but it shouldn't be awkward because we're friends.
Mm-hmm. You don't talk to me about girls.
Even if it's me.
Yeah. I mean, she didn't say that, but no, she was totally thinking it. She's like, you can totally tell me that you love me, just not right now.
But the thing that everybody's like, that the people think is interesting too, is that like she never felt the need to be in a relationship before he was in the coma.
Yeah, she was perfectly happy living life with him by her side.
She even told Eddie that. She's like, my life was full. I had Barry and I had my dad, and I didn't feel the need for that type of stuff.
Yeah, in a way, just having Barry as her best friend was having Barry as her boyfriend.
Yeah, because like
it's just she wasn't tied down by the title.
Exactly. They basically had all the things that you would have with somebody in a relationship.
Yeah, and they still
for the physical stuff.
They still have it. So.
Yeah, except for the physical stuff. But she got comfort and reassurance and encouragement, romance and all that
dating stuff without actually being a boyfriend.
Yeah, because like if she was with someone and if she got her heart broken, she could go to Barry and he would comfort her or whatever, and they would talk and stay up all night and talk about whatever they wanted to talk about, life, random stuff, anything.
Like in the confession, like he said, all those Christmases, all those late night talks.
He's like.
So
junior prom.
Yeah, I'm like
when I went away to college, when I came back from college, the nights that we stayed up talking, all the birthdays, all the Christmases. But I just never did.
Yeah.
I could basically say all of it, but I'm not going to.
You basically did.
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
I just said
when it comes to those types of moments, you could ask her and she'll quote it all.
Because I've watched the scene like so many times.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed. I have.
Okay, seriously, she had finals the next day.
I did.
She stayed up watching that.
I stayed up. I was in bed with my phone watching it on YouTube.
Until?
Like 2 or something.
And when did you have to get up?
Like 6.
For finals.
So I only got 4 hours of sleep, but I still passed my math class. It was worth it.
So, I mean, I like The Flash a lot, but not that much.
I'm sorry. When I get obsessed with something, I do that.
Yeah, I've noticed. So,
But anyway, I thought it was interesting how she reacted to what he said.
Yeah.
I think that, she didn't expect it, but I think at the same time she was kind of hoping that it was there.
Yeah.
But she just didn't expect it to come out then.
She wasn't ready to hear it.
Yeah.
And then the explosion happened. And then 9 months of wondering if the man she loves is gonna die.
And don't tell me that in that scene, when he comes into jitters after he's woken up, and the look on her face, do not tell me that she did not love him.
Do not tell me that's not love.
Do not tell me that that's not love, okay?
And then she smiled. And it can't be science.
Exactly. Because, okay, this kind of goes along with this, but on Tumblr, there's like some blogs that people have that are dedicated to Barry and Iris. And this week, to kind of help us get through the hiatus, they were going to do a West Allen, which is their ship name, their last names of both of them, Appreciation Week. And the whole week you do like a graphic or GIFs or whatever you want to do to like make something and post it. And for the first day, it was day 1, it was my holy crap, I ship it moment. Like when you realize that you shipped them. And the scene that I chose was the scene when he comes into jitters after he first woke up from the coma. And the it's still beating thing. And
it's beating really fast.
So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Because we were talking about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. And
And also the fact that Eddie does not believe in the Flash.
Right, until episode 9.
Yeah, and that's complicating things with her relationship.
Or, no, it wasn't episode 9, it was 8. Episode 8.
Yeah, when they were in his room and she was looking on her computer and there were new posts about the Flash.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, good lord.
Yeah. He's like, I believe in what I can see.
When I can see you in your half-nakedness in my bed.
And it's like, well, she's seen the Flash, so she knows he's real.
Yeah.
It's not like she's just imagining it.
Mm-hmm. It's like you say you love her. Okay, prove it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean sex. Or giving her a key to your apartment.
Exactly.
That means listening to what the hell she has to say.
We actually thought that he was going to give her
a ring. Yeah.
I'm so glad that it wasn't. I mean, I could see them going there, but I'm glad they didn't.
Definitely.
But Barry gave her a ring.
He did. It was a replica of her mom's engagement ring.
Yeah, her mom's wedding band.
Yeah.
Because she lost the real one on a 5th grade field trip to the zoo.
Yeah.
And she cried for weeks.
Yeah. You see? Ask her for any Barry Iris moment and
Pretty
she
much.
can quote it. So, I'm scared of what will happen when we get to season 3. That's going to be a lot of quotes that you're going to have in your
I don't know if
pocket.
I'll remember some of the early ones, but I'll probably remember the most recent.
So, yeah. Now we have Iris and Eddie's relationship.
Yes.
Which we've slightly touched on. Really, I just want to take that and push it back to where we never have to talk about it.
Well, the thing is, like, to her, she does really love him. And she does...
Well, she doesn't...
She doesn't know the difference because she's never really been in a serious relationship before. And so, to her, what she's feeling for him is love.
Yeah.
And, you know, but I think because of what Barry said, she's going to realize the difference. That, like, okay.
Yeah, she probably, like, after a while of not having that friendship with Barry because of the coma, she was probably thinking, okay, that's how it was with my best friend. That's a best friend love. But what I'm looking for is boyfriend, girlfriend, fiancé, marriage love. And she thought she found that in Eddie, when in reality what she found in Eddie was probably best friend love. And she's taking that to a whole nother proportion because she doesn't know that one is different from the other.
I mean, who does she always go to when she's hurt or upset? Barry. She doesn't go to her boyfriend. No. She goes to her best friend.
Yeah. When her and Eddie fight, she doesn't go off and cry.
Yeah. She goes to Barry.
Yeah. And she's pissed.
Like,
but when her and Barry fight, she cries. She sits there and bawls.
Like, she came into the lab in the mid-season finale and she told Barry that she was going to move in with Eddie. Like, you know, he was the first person she told about that.
Yeah.
And, you know, so they're always each other. They always go to each other for that type of stuff.
Yeah. It's like, geez, wake up and smell the roses already.
And a lot of people were saying when she confronted him about him liking her, and he's like, well, Eddie's wrong, like, the look on her face, everybody's like, she looks so disappointed, like, she wanted him to say that he did, you know? I mean, that's what everybody was saying, but I don't know.
I think when he slid that box across the table on the mid-season finale on episode 9, yeah, that Iris was scared.
I think she was too, because I think she thought that it was a ring.
I don't want this.
I think she thought that it was a ring.
Yeah. Like, you saw that look on her face of, I don't want this.
Yeah.
I don't want this. Take that back. Take that back.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
And then she opened it and it was a key and, like, all, like...
You could see the relief on her face.
Yeah, the worry that she had about it being a ring flooded out so she didn't have to worry about the fact that it was a key.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, look, I get more sex.
He's like, well, you're pretty much over there every night anyway.
Yeah, because that's something you give a girlfriend for Christmas present.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, the reason that I asked about your shirt size in no way indicates that I'm getting you a shirt for Christmas. It's like, really?
Barry got her.
You spend all this money on a top-of-the-line microscope for your best friend.
Mm-hmm. And he gives you a gold-plated ring and necklace.
It's probably not gold-plated. It's probably real.
It could be real. But for the benefit of him being freshly out of college, I will say gold-plated.
But yeah, she saved up for a long time for that microscope. Yeah. Probably before he was in a coma.
Yeah. And
she was gonna give it to him that Christmas, but since he was still in a coma, she couldn't.
Yeah, that's probably how it worked out.
Yeah.
And now, like, giving that to him and him giving that to her, and then you have the exchange of a t-shirt and a key. A key that cost, what, $5
to copy?
Or less?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't even think copying a key costs $5.
Yeah.
And that's his Christmas present?
Mm-hmm.
Or dating?
Yeah. For a year.
Okay, if I get it, when I get my boyfriend and we're dating for like a year and it's Christmas, you better give me something more expensive than a key.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Exactly.
I mean, I don't want much.
Or something meaningful.
Yeah.
You know.
But a key is like, come over, we can have more sex.
It's very impractical, very impersonal.
Yeah.
I think that getting somebody a key is actually more selfish than like giving.
Yeah. Because a key is something you give out during the year at no special occasion.
Yeah, because like by giving her that, you're saying, oh, I'm getting to see her more. I'm getting to have sex with her more. I'm getting to do this stuff. And it's like, you know, you're not really thinking about the other person. You're thinking about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, with Barry and Iris's gifts to each other, they were thinking about each other.
Yeah.
He
needed a better microscope. And
he knew how much her mom's wedding band meant to her.
Mm-hmm.
And how upset she was.
She cried for weeks.
Yeah. And so what other way than to give her something that's special like that?
Yeah.
And he put it on her too.
Yes.
And then Eddie's like, friends don't give friends wedding bands.
Right.
She's like, he wasn't proposing, silly.
Yeah. And then he's like, I think he likes you.
She's like, do you ever think that he might like you? And she's like, what? No.
And she pounced on that way too quick.
She's like, what? No.
Yeah.
And then she asked Caitlin about it, so you know that she was worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
And she told Caitlin that she couldn't sleep that night either. So she was worried about it.
And then she told Barry what he thought, and he's like, no.
He's like,
no.
Why would Eddie think that I would be weird about it?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, because he thinks that you like me romantically.
No. No.
It's like, it's even silly for me to mention it. Like, just...
Yeah.
And he's like, well, Eddie's wrong.
He's got nothing to worry about. Yes, he does, because 10 minutes later, you're over there telling her how you really feel.
It's not 10 minutes. It's like...
I know. I'm being, time frame.
A lot of it was because of what his dad told him.
Yeah.
That he did that. I don't think that if his dad had told him that he would have done it.
He would have kept letting the yellow man rule his life.
Mm-hmm. He's like, you're my son. You don't think I know how you love her? I'm just like...
Like, okay, you've been in that jail cell since he was 8.
Actually, 11.
Whatever. I don't care. He was young, okay?
Yeah, well, he probably saw it before he was in jail because he probably hung out with Iris all the time, and when he was around her, he, had a crush on her. And Because he said that.
I moved into.
Yeah,
he's like. I moved in with the girl I had a crush on.
He's like, and then my mom died, and I had to go live with the girl I had a crush on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, you think we've got covered?
I think so. So yeah. Oh, and I really would like to see more father-daughter moments of her with Joe.
Yes.
We've only really seen a couple, and I would really like to see.
All we've really seen is them fighting.
Yeah. But somebody was saying on fan forum that they really would like Joe to like mention to her about something like with Barry, or have her go to him for her confliction over it or something like that, because he knows how he feels.
Yeah.
And stuff, and Barry probably didn't tell him that he told Iris.
Right.
And so yeah.
Yeah. And you do not look back like that. If
that
you do not
oh my gosh.
Have feelings.
That was so
the end of the Christmas episode.
Okay, when Joe and Barry come back to the house, you know, after they have that scene in his lab,
and they put the star on.
Yeah. And before they put the star on, and Barry goes and talks to Eddie and Iris, and he tells them that he's happy for them.
Yeah. I'm like, you lying.
The way that she's looking up at him when he's standing there.
She consciously uncoupled herself.
Seriously, she took her arm out from around Eddie.
Yeah, she was like, all like, oh. Yeah. And then she's like, Barry.
He's like, like, Merry Christmas, Alan. And he's like, yeah, Merry Christmas, Eddie. And she like took her arm out from around him.
Yeah.
And
she didn't get off his lap though.
No. But she kind of like put her hands like this.
Mm-hmm. She's all folding her hands in her
lap. And she's just like, I just wanted to say that I hear you're moving in together and I'm happy for you. And she just smiled. Kind of like, thanks.
Yeah.
You know, like she says it really shyly.
She gave a confusing smile.
And
she
nervously.
Like, huh,
she's like, thanks. You know?
Yeah.
And then when he walked away, she was kind of looking away like, great, you know?
Yeah, she like... It's like she was daydreaming of him and her.
And then when Joe puts the star on and... like Cisco went like this, and Barry was laughing because of what Cisco was doing, and then he kind of, you know, sees her and she looks back.
The way she looks at him, she looks back. Like,
feels.
And she smiles. And then she smiles. And
that cannot be science. I love how he just like goes, seriously, he just goes to Jitters to see her smile.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he just gets so much joy out of her smile.
Yeah.
And whenever they're around each other, when they're not fighting, they're always smiling at each other.
Like, all the time.
So.
Yeah. So,
Oh, and I know that she, you know, they purposely did a chemistry test with the two of them to be sure that they worked together. And so with people saying, oh, they have no chemistry and all that crap, screw you.
Yes. Screw you. But keep watching us.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean, okay? You can ship who you want to ship.
Yes.
But, and I know chemistry is subjective, but seriously...
Don't bash us for liking Iris.
And you can't use the brother-sister argument anymore, because you know what? He told her in his confession that he has loved her since before he even knew what the word love meant. Okay? And he had to go live with the girl he had a crush on. He already liked her before he moved in with her. So the brother-sister argument is invalid now. Okay? You can't use that no more.
Very much so. Okay. So, until next time, keep believing in the impossible.